everybody, and welcome to another ASMR video here on the channel. Today we're back with some conspiracy theories. We're sort of moving away once more from the cryptid style ones, because that's been really the main focus of conspiracy theory videos of late. This video is a part 2. Ages and ages ago, I did a video on video game conspiracy theories, and so today we're going to be doing a part 2. I, for the most part, have really tried to find different theories and different articles, etc., but there's probably going to be some overlap because, like I said, it was so long ago since I filmed the last one, so my apologies if those of you remember the ones from part 1, but it was so long ago, it doesn't hurt to go over some of them again if they're interesting enough. I'm kind of apologies if I sort of look around a bit more in this video. I've just got a new tripod as part of the setup sort of taking shape, but I'm still when I'm in this room for filming, trying to work out the best sort of configuration, so to speak. So it's all a bit makeshift at the minute, but I want to really lock in kind of thing the setup when we film in this position. So apologies for that, but anyways, you don't really care about that stuff, so I'll grab my phone and we will get into the video game conspiracy theories. So we begin with Polybius, the killer arcade machine. I'm pretty sure I did this one in the previous episode, but we'll explore it once more. So, possibly of the most alluring of all video game urban legends is the story of Polybius, an arcade cabinet apparently built by the US military, or perhaps the CIA, in 1981. This story has circulated online since the mid to late 90s, and curiously, unlike most myths, its details have not been embellished in the 2 decades since. According to the earliest accounts of this story, only 2 Polybius machines were ever built, and were installed at separate arcades across Portland, Oregon. Those who played the game apparently experienced headaches, nausea and nightmares, while in some accounts of this story, such side effects were followed by suicidal thoughts. Agents dressed in black were said to have frequented the arcades in Portland, apparently to download data stored on each cabinet. Months after they were installed, the legend goes, both machines disappeared. Nice creaks there for effect. The origin of this story remains a mystery, but one theory is that it's a cocktail of different truths mixed together to create a far more interesting tale. There were local reports at the time of FBI agents visiting arcades, though this was apparently due to an investigation to illegal gambling rings. In the early 80s, when the old arcade businesses was in rude health, it was not unheard of that some customers would frequent arcade machines and stay for hours, trying to bathe themselves with the fame of high scores. Naturally, doing this for extended periods of time would make some players feel sick. No one has come forward to say they have played Polybius, yet the tale has lingered, even appearing on an episode of The Simpsons. The next theory is titled The Lost Kill Switch Video. Continuing the theme of likely fake but nevertheless haunting video game stories, one urban tale surrounds a PC release called Kill Switch, an eerie 2D survival horror title reportedly sold on eBay for $733,000 to a Tokyo resident by the name of Yamamoto Ryuichi. The story that follows is nearly always told the same. Keen to expose the game to the world, Ryuichi set about to publish a Let's Play video. Apparently, a 1 minute and 45-second video clip found its way to YouTube, but the footage only showed Yamamoto slumped at his computer in front of the selection screen. With his back to the camera, he does not move, but you can hear him crying. The screen goes blank. It's easy to see through such tales when you consider that Yamamoto's video isn't listed on YouTube. It is curious, however, that dozens of Killswitch gameplay videos can be found on the site, meaning that either someone has decided to build a game based on the legend, or you're looking at the real thing. Next, we have Squall died as you swapped discs. So if you wanted to place a bet on any video game conspiracy theory turning out to be true, make sure it's this one. Due to the limited storage of capacity of CD-ROMs during the PlayStation 1 era, many games of sizable data were written on multiple discs. Final Fantasy VIII, I think that is, for example, was carried on 4 discs that players needed to swap between when playing through the campaign. But something strange happens during one of these transitions. At the end of disc 1, an FMV is shown with the game's hero Squall confronting the sorceress Idia. At the end of the video, Idia launches an ice shard through the Squall's chest, knocking him off the platform he's standing on. The camera shows him falling, presumably to his death. But when disc 2 begins, Squall is shown awakening from his fall, with no signs of the giant ice shard impaling him or his clothes. He says, "My wound, no wound. How?" The theory here is that Squall has died unbeknown to the player, and the remainder of the story is his dream of how he would have succeeded. A whole body of somewhat shaky evidence argues this point, including the game's final cutscene, which for a millisecond flashes a haunting image of Squall with no face. Here we have the Madden curse, which I covered, I don't think in the video game episode, but in another conspiracy theories video, I feel. Might have been the sports one, but we'll revisit it briefly. So it started as a curious fact at the water cooler, grew into a joke between NFL fans, and eventually became a bona fide superstition. Between the years 1999 and 2014, nearly every NFL player who appeared on the front cover of EA's Madden games suffered a significant injury shortly after. Nearly is a handy journalese term, which the cynical among you will notice actually means not all, and thus cannot be the description of a curse. However, in this case, nearly represents 15 out of the 18 Madden's cover stars, who went on to suffer from either horrific injuries, sinking performances, or major losses to their respective clubs. The curse's first victim was Garrison Hurst, who broke his ankle shortly after his likeness was splashed on the front cover of Madden NFL 1999. In the 15 years since, only 3 players appear to have dodged this curse: Richard Sherman, Calvin Johnson, and Larry Fitzgerald. At one point, EA even discussed plans to make a movie about this curse. This next one boisterous PR stunts, an age when political correctness wasn't so big a priority, and a time when PlayStation was legitimately run by people who were behaving like biz execs with the new rock stars. It's also a story that first emerged just before Christmas, and one that makes the PlayStation 2 come off as a machine that was decades ahead of its time. So yes, make sure your PS detector isn't drained of battery. So according to a World News Daily article published in December 2000, Iraq's former president Saddam Hussein was stockpiling hundreds of PS2s for purposes not quite as humble as playing a round of Fantavision. The story goes that the pugnacious war leader wanted to stockpile PS2s due to the console's 32-bit CPU being rather powerful, and thus, to repeat an anonymous quote circulating at the time, extremely useful in military design applications. Apparently, Kudaragi's much-lauded emotion engine could be used to calculate ballistic data for long-range missiles, and the combined CPU power of 15 PS2s would be enough to control a drone. As terrifying as the prospect of warmongering state officials going all A-team on luxury household items is, this urban legend is surely a work of fiction. The problem, as with all good ideas, or all good lies, is the slither of truth. PS2s were sold cheaper than basic 32-bit chips, meaning it may have been a genuine frugal option for any penny-pinching tyrants. Silly, yes, but definitely scarier the more you think about it. At the very least, it brings a whole new meaning to the term console war. One final thing, during Christmas 2000, there was a punishing global shortage of PS2s, and Sony Europe secretly hired 4 Antonov jets out of Afghanistan just to carry a shipment from Japan to Europe. A creative mind on the inside would have all the inspiration they'd need to conjure a tale of why only a few PS2s made it to Europe. The next theory stipulates that Sony could control all PS3s remotely. Remember back in March 2010 when nobody could access their PSN-based PS3 games for a few weeks due to data issues within PSN? All it took was one angry fan trying to figure out what was going on to create a conspiracy theory. What it boiled down to was, since all the PS3s in the world supposedly stopped working at the same time, they mysteriously started up again at roughly the same time, Sony must have a big brother switch wired in to monitor what we do on our PlayStation 3s. The real reason for this bug was revealed to be a hardware internal clock, which thought it was a leap year, but that doesn't stop folks from assuming the worst. This one says Wii naming was a publicity stunt. Not everyone was thrilled when Nintendo unveiled the now mega hit Nintendo Wii and its branding. Once called the Revolution, the system was seen as a war cry to the other systems, a system that would change the way we play games. The name it was eventually given, Wii, was immediately likened to what one would call a flaccid penis, rather than a game system. Up until right before launch, there were many folks out there dying of disbelief. These folks believed that the whole Wii name was a huge publicity stunt, and the system would return to the more fanboy-friendly Revolution just in time. This is the age of viral marketing after all, and what better way a silly fake name. Many years later, and my system is still called the Nintendo Wii. Sorry, tinfoil hat brigade. I really want to get this is completely unrelated to conspiracy theories, but I really want to get my Nintendo Wii set up and play some games for the gaming channel. Anyways, but I digress. So, the next theory states Microsoft is trying to sabotage new formats in favour of digital downloads. This conspiracy theory comes all the way from the mouth of Michael Bay, film director behind films like The Island, Pearl Harbor and the Transformers movies. Michael Bay was all on board for the HD DVD format in its battle with Sony's Blu-ray technology. 15 years ago there were two competing HD home media formats, and Sony's Blu-ray ultimately won out. Confused by the apparent failings of HD DVD, Bay began to spout off a few classics such as these two that were posted in the New York Times. What you don't understand is corporate politics. Microsoft wants both formats to fail so they can be heroes and make the world move to digital downloads. That is the dirty secret no one is talking about. Time has told, and it seems that Blu-ray has beaten this conspiracy. Then again, digital has made some progress in the last 15 years. Perhaps they were playing the long game. I'm now going to round off this video with the kind of still sort of conspiracy theories, but really just like fan video game theories. So the first one goes, Skyrim and Fallout are set in the same universe. In Fallout 4, there's a research facility aboard the Brotherhood of Steel's airship that houses an experimental plant that glows. It was recently discovered at the mouth of a river and has healing properties. It's strikingly similar to a well-known plant in Skyrim called Nernroot. On top of that, logs in the research facility about the plant are filed under NRT, which could be a short for Nernroot. It's probably just a Bethesda Easter egg, but some fans think this places Skyrim and Fallout in the same universe. Well, speaking of Bethesda, I am really intrigued by Starfield. I think it could be an amazing game. See, I played Skyrim when it first came out ages ago, but have not gone near that game since. I really think I'm going to get Starfield for my PC and play on the gaming channel, so links in the description. The next theory states companion cubes are full of people. There was something so endearing about the weighted companion cube. It was more than just an inanimate object. During its brief role in the first portal, it felt like a friend, which made it all the more tragic when we had to euthanize it. But what if there was more to it? One fan theory suggests the cubes are weighted because they contain the bodies of dead test subjects. Doug Ratman's scribbles inside the walls of Aperture also suggests as much. And of course, GLaDOS tells us to ignore the companion cube if he ever talks. Next up we got a Pokemon one. I feel like I'm gonna do like a dedicated Pokemon conspiracy theories video because there's so many about the games and about the TV show and about like the company as a whole kind of thing. But this theory stipulates that Pokemon is set in a war-torn world. Have you ever wondered why there are no dads in the original Pokemon games? There are hardly any adult men at all, actually, besides experienced Pokemon trainers. One of those is Lieutenant Surge, who tells you that electric Pokemon saved him during the war. That line sparked an entire theory history, Pokemon could have been used to wage a deadly war. This theory says in Destiny, a game I've never played, Guardians are the villains. In Destiny's lore, the Guardians are the defenders of good, and the Traveller is a benevolent construct that appeared to protect the last human city. It appeared after an evil force called the Darkness nearly wiped out humanity. Sounds pretty cut and dry, right? But some fans have theorised that the Guardians are the Darkness. Some enemies have been heard to shout, "It's the Darkness," when you engage them. Guardians are called things like Titans, Hunters, and Warlocks, all names with negative connotations, while enemies are referred to as things like Knights and Wizards. And then there's this from the Diary of a Guardian. The ghost said to me, "You are a dead thing made by a dead power in the shape of the dead. All that you will ever do is kill. You do not belong here." So little is known about Destiny's overarching story that it could just make sense. And we're going to end this video with the Majora's Mask theory. So, Majora's Mask, this theory says, is about the 5 stages of grief. It's no secret that Majora's Mask is one of the darker games in the Zelda series, but according to some fans, it's even darker than we thought. One popular theory suggests that Link is so overwhelmed after Navi leaves him that his quest to find her takes him on a literal journey through the 5 stages of grief. Clocktown represents denial, where, despite the threatening moon looming overhead, the townsfolk continue to joyfully plan their upcoming festival. The rest of Link's adventure through the swamp, meeting the Gorons and Zoras, and the valley represent anger, bargaining, depression, and finally, acceptance. And that is going to do it for the theories for this evening. To be fair, there's probably enough on the internet that I can do like a part 3. I might just do like I said, I'll do the Pokemon one, but I think I'll do like a video games Easter eggs video, like the most insane theories and most insane Easter eggs found in video games. I think